You're watching Truth versus Hype. We've come to Faridabad at the edges of Delhi to investigate the darker side of India's real estate boom. This whole business of how thousands of homeowners have been stranded by builders with half-complete or non-existent apartments. Now, this is not a malaise unique to the National Capital Region, but it certainly is the worst manifestation that you'll see here. Again, we've chosen to focus on a few developers because we can't cover all of them, but we've selected those who have faced the maximum number of complaints about their projects. To ask whether is it as these developers claim because of delayed clearances and the economic downturn, or is it quite simply a mixture of malpractice and greed? Across the National Capital Region, protests are rising. In the streets or in the courts, developers being challenged from old reputed names to new kids on the block. This sprawl in Faridabad outside Delhi, a mix of open spaces and half-built towers, embodies the perils of the NCR bubble. It's the nerve center for BPTP, formed by Kabul Chawla. In 10 years, big claims. So we are in Parkland in Faridabad, on the outskirts of Delhi. The deal that powered BPTP's rise in 2006, when they purchased nearly 2,000 acres of land to develop a sprawling complex of villas and homes and IT parks. But the reality turned out to be quite different. This gentleman bought an apartment in Park Elite Premium in 2009. This is how it stands today. The frustration so great, the homeowners almost filed an FIR.
FIR करने की कोशिश करी, लेकिन उसी दिन बीपीटीपी का मैनेजमेंट उठ गया कि हाँ भाई आप FIR मत कराओ, रुको। उसके बाद फिर हम लोगों ने FIR रोकी, तो सेम डे उन्होंने हमें कॉल करने की कोशिश करी कि हाँ भाई आप ऑफिस में आइए, हमसे मिलिए। बहुत लोगों को मेल भेजे उन्होंने सेम डे में। फिर उसके बाद थोड़ा प्रोसेस उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया, तब जाके फिर होल्ड कर दिया उन्होंने काम।
On its website, of the 18 projects in Parklands, only 5 are shown as delivered. Even this claim is challenged. Take Park Elite floors 1 and 2. Delivered on the site, but this is the reality. But ये तो उनके वेबसाइट में delivered दिखा रहा है।
No. मैंने बताया ना 4200 के यूनिट हैं टोटल, जिसमें से 1800 ही उसने डिलीवर किए।
Where is Patio? Patio is in the middle. You can't see from you. Oh, that is Patio. Yeah. This is your life savings and this?
Obviously. Is he an honest servant, government servant or private civil servant? He has no other scope.
Yeah.
Whatever you save,
you put into this.
You put into this.
Then comes your own. Yeah. BPTP's track record in neighbouring Gurgaon has also come under question. 2 years ago, these families would have moved into a building called Spatio. On its site, it claims it's one of BPTP's most popular projects. But here is its reality.
For the first 1 year, there was no excuse at all. Okay. It is just slow down. Okay. Some laborers is not there and all these things. Okay. After that, they started telling contractor has run away.
In a statement, however, BPTP said the reason for the freeze were beyond their control, like regulatory regimes, gloomy market scenario, and cash flow mismatches.
But BPTP's projects, like most in the National Capital Region, are funded by what are called the construction-linked plans, where buyers pay for each stage of construction. And BPTP's buyers told us that they'd paid almost their entire amounts.
How much payment have you all made?
72.5 basic.
Percent?
72.
You also made 80% of the payment.
80%?
70%.
70%. BPTP says that money from all projects in one common pool is used for all expenses, including construction, salaries, marketing and admin. And it's not possible to confine 100% revenues to one very project. This statement from BPTP some will see as an admission of what has always been suspected, that developers are diverting funds meant for one project into the next, an ever-spiraling bubble that after a point became untenable.
There are 4 projects of BPTP.
Okay.
The first one is the Park Serene.
Okay.
Which was almost completed some 4-5 years ago.
Right.
That is when we booked our Park Spatio.
What is that next to it?
Then next to it, they are all from A to something like
that is
J.
the middle. What is that?
That is Park Generation. That is second project.
Yeah.
Then comes your own
Yeah.
Spatio, which are these buildings over here.
Buildings.
And this fourth one is this Terra.
So work is going on here.
Yeah.
This is a surprising thing.
Yeah.
That if a project is launched after yours and they have the capability to do work, then they can finish what has already been started.
They are doing
This
the
is
work
a
in the latest
luxury
project.
flats. These are the luxury flats.
There are no escrow accounts as such. Like for a specific project, there is an escrow account and every installment goes into that specific escrow account, and the money can only be used for that specific escrow, that specific project. That has never been the case. So most of these builders have had a practice of diverting the funds from one project to the other. But now, because of the fact that the downturn has happened, most of these projects have delayed because of that.
The claims of cash crunch are all the more baffling. On paper, BPTP continued to show profits right up until 2013, its last filings with the government. Its chief, Kabul Chawla, takes home a 5 crore package, of which 2 crores is just rent. BPTP says his remuneration is based on his contribution to the company and the value add he brings in.
BPTP insists that it's in the process of raising money from banks and financial institutions to get its projects off the ground. But what they haven't shared formally with their homeowners but told us is that they still owe about 238 crores to 2 foreign investors who exited in 2012.
Its customers are unlikely to take more delays or more deception quietly. In September last year, Spacio home buyers took to the streets of Jantar Mantar. Since then, they claim they were promised fast movement. At the Spacio site this week, however, it was as before, a standstill.
When you went just now to see if there was any work going on,
Nothing.
was there any work going on?
He himself said 8 people are there.
Only 8 people.
8 workers.
ये सर हमारा ये काम है, ये यहाँ नहीं कर सकते हो, वहाँ करो जाके।
आपका काम खत्म हो गया।
आपका काम खत्म हो गया। आप वहाँ जाइए।
Attempts to film a Unitech project in Gurgaon called Vista, even from the outside gate,
इसको हटाओ सर।
but that angers the security. A reflection of the strains faced by one of the NCR's oldest players, now led by its second generation. Today they make news for projects across the Gurgaon-Noida region that are facing FIRs and cases in court. Vista is one of them.
My tower is in A7, in this lift is there.
Yes.
And you cannot believe that I have paid around 56 lakhs or 50 lakhs rupees down payment in February 2010 itself, and that is not in near possession even after 2-3 years.
Vista is significant. In June 2015, in a first-of-its-kind ruling, the Consumer Court asked Unitech to pay 12% interest to the homeowners for the delay, rejecting many of the reasons rolled out by the developers. Unitech, for instance, was able to build a new corporate office in the same period.
In the court, they are giving the reason of labor shortage, they are giving a reason of water, they are giving a reason of permission delays, and so many reasons they are giving. But surprisingly, if you see there that the commercial project is getting, Signature Tower 2, they have made it in less than their committed period. Within 2 years, they have completed.
This was stayed by the Supreme Court.
Rather than committing and constructing the flats, Unitech has gone to Supreme Court. There they have hired very senior lawyer, Congress ex-finance minister P. Chidambaram and Abhishek Sanghvi. Can you believe? We could not afford that, and they was able to get the stay order.
The promise, however, to keep construction on. But the site supervisor admitted no work underway.
But sir, अभी यहाँ हो क्या रहा है?
कुछ नहीं हो रहा सर।
यहाँ कोई काम नहीं हो रहा? कब से बंद है यहाँ काम?
4-5 महीने हो गए सर।
4-5 महीने से काम ही नहीं है यहाँ?
Unitech in a statement said on the issue of the Vista project, the company would like to clarify that the license has not been cancelled as the infrastructure development charge to the government is fully paid. Unitech's brushes with the law, it appears, have done little to spur genuine action. This is Habitat in Noida. For failing to meet a court order to refund its buyers, its senior executives had to spend a night in jail. But even now, many buyers like Sanjay Arora, recently recovering from a liver transplant, have little hope of getting their homes.
अब पोजीशन ये है कि यहाँ पे ना तो मेरे को डिलीवर मिल रहा है, ना मेरे को पैसे मिल रहे हैं। राइट। मैंने लीवर ट्रांसप्लांट कराया हुआ है, हाँ, मैंने इसके लिए बहुत पिचिंग करी इनको कि मेरे को फंड की रिक्वायरमेंट है, राइट, प्लीज़ मेरा हेल्प करो, जो मैंने पैसे दे रखे अब मेरे को वो वापस दीजिए, मेरे को कोई इंटरेस्ट मत दीजिए, राइट, लेकिन इन्होंने कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं किया.
In the case of Habitat, they say they've already made an offer of possession of 10 towers out of a total of 18, and remaining is being offered in a phased manner. Coming up, the battle not just for unbuilt towers, but even for those already built.